Hello everyone, this is Professor Nelson from Electronics. Today we're going to talk about the TL431. This is a TL431, which you'll find on various electronic boards. However, you'll find them more frequently in switch mode power supplies. Like this one here. Here we have a TL431 along with its programming resistors. Therefore, this component is very important in power supplies, since its job is to determine the output voltage. Therefore, if this component is damaged, the power supply will not work. The same thing happens in other types of electronic boards. This component replaces the Zener diode, because a Zener diode has a fixed operating voltage. However, this component can have different output voltages, since it has 3 terminals. In this video, we'll see how it works both theoretically and practically, so you can use this knowledge to repair your electronic boards. Well, without further ado, let's continue with the video. Very well, now let's look at the pin distribution. Pin 1 is the reference pin. Pin 2 is the anode. And pin 3 is the cathode. Now, regarding the operation of the TL431, it can operate delivering voltages from 2.5 volts up to 36 volts. This depends on the external components we install. As for the maximum current it can handle, it's 100 milliamps. However, the most important thing is not the current, but the power that can be supported between cathode and anode. In this case, we're talking about 1 watt, since it works the same way as normal Zener diodes. Because if we exceed the working power of the Zener diode, it can be damaged. The same applies to the TL431. Therefore, the current can vary depending on the voltage we obtain, since they must remember that the power cannot be greater than 1 watt. Now, regarding its operation, we have several circuits. The most basic circuit is this one here, in which we can observe that we have a resistance of 470 ohms, which will limit the current that passes through the TL431 so that it does not exceed 1 watt of power. However, you can reduce the resistance to a lower value so that more current can pass through. But remember that it should not exceed 1 watt of power. In this configuration, the TL431 will deliver 2.5 volts. But if we add other external components, it could deliver a different voltage. We'll look at that circuit shortly. However, first let's confirm this operation. This way you will know if your TL431 is in good condition. Here's the assembled circuit. We have the 470 ohm resistor, our TL431, and a 4.7 kilo ohm resistor across, which will measure the 2.5 volts. For this example, we'll use 12 volts. However, you can use 9 volts or 24 volts. But remember that not too much current should pass through the TL431, otherwise it may burn out. First, let's measure the input voltage. There we have approximately 12 volts. Now, the output voltage is approximately 2.5 volts. The voltage across the resistor should be 12 volts minus 2.5 volts, which would be approximately 9.5 volts. With this voltage and the resistance, we can calculate the current, and in this case, it would be 20 milliamps. With that current, you can determine how much power is being delivered to your TL431. Now let's look at other circuits. Very well. Now in order to obtain a different voltage than 2.5 volts, you have to add two resistors in series, to which you must connect the reference pin. And to calculate this output voltage, you will need to use this formula, where the reference voltage is 2.5 volts. If we have a resistor R1 of 10 kiloohms and a resistor R2 of 10 kiloohms, according to the formula, we would obtain 5 volts, provided the input voltage is greater than 5 volts. Let's test this circuit in a practical way. Here we have the circuit. The two 10 kiloohm resistors are connected in series. The 470 ohm resistor and our 4.7 kiloohm resistor, across which we will measure the voltage. We measure the voltage drop, and we have approximately 5 volts. However, if we want to obtain variable voltage values at the output, we have to replace this resistor with a potentiometer. A potentiometer like this one here. In other words, our circuit would look like this. And the formula would be the same. Using a variable resistor and a fixed resistor, we will obtain different output voltages. So let's see how it works in practice. Okay, here we have the circuit. And here we have the potentiometer. We change resistor R2 to 2.2 kiloohms to have a greater range in the voltage variation. As a minimum voltage, we start with 2.5 volts. And as we move the potentiometer, we will increase the voltage. In this way, we can choose the output voltage according to our needs. In this case, the maximum voltage is 8 volts. However, if you change the value of this resistor to one of a lower value, you will have a greater working range. It would be the same if the input voltage is much higher. However, as I mentioned, this component is usually found in switched mode power supply circuits. For example, here we have it at the output. In this case, it functions as a switch, since when we reach a maximum voltage, the TL431 diode will conduct, allowing the optocoupler's internal LED to activate. And this, in turn, activates the transistor. This, in turn, will send a signal to the oscillator of the chopper transformer, causing the oscillator to stop increasing the pulse width. This allows us to obtain a precise and stable voltage with the help of the TL431. Now let's see how this circuit would work in practice. Finally, let's see how the TL431 works in a switch mode power supply. Here we have a switch mode power supply in which we can see the TL431, along with the programming resistors and its current limiting resistor. In this case, the TL431 will control the pulse width delivered by the pulse generator. The job of this integrated circuit is to deliver a PWM signal, which will increase its pulse width over time, until it achieves a suitable output voltage. Once we reach the appropriate voltage, this voltage will be applied to the TL431, which will activate the optotransistor. The opto transistor will then send a signal to the oscillator circuit. In other words, through the TL431, we will tell the oscillator to maintain this pulse width constantly. Since this is the appropriate pulse width to obtain the required voltage. In this situation, the TL431 is programmed to 5 volts. Since we can see that we have 10 kiloohms here and 10 kiloohms here, the same thing happens on the circuit. Here we have 10 kiloohms and 10 kiloohms. And we have an LED connected to the opto transistor. When it receives the appropriate signal, it will light up. In this case, it would be 5 volts. Let's test it. For this example, we are using a power supply that will deliver a fixed voltage of 12 volts and a variable voltage that will simulate the PWM signal. We will start with 1.25 volts and gradually increase the voltage. The LED should not light up until it reaches 5 volts or a higher voltage. It doesn't light up. We are increasing the pulse width and nothing happens. Nothing happens. It has to be greater than or equal to 5 volts. There we can see that the LED lights up at 5 volts. If the pulse width or voltage decreases, it turns off. So the pulse width would remain fixed because a signal is being sent to the PWM signal generator. And in this way, the switch mode power supply will maintain a fixed and stable output voltage with the help of the TL431. And this is how the TL431 works in power supplies. Well guys, that's how the video ends. Now, don't forget that if you like the video, a like really helps the channel. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.